Hey, this week on Leading Forward with Nick and Jeremy, we answer this big question. What is the most expensive thing you do as a business owner? And just as a hint, it's not paying taxes.
Okay, Nick, this is, we're a few episodes into this now, man. This has been so much fun.
Yeah, I love it.
Okay, if this is helpful, I'm going to tell everybody who's listening right now or watching whatever platform they're on, like, subscribe, share. We're getting off the ground, man, and so we could use the wind in our sails if this is helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. We want to make sure we're adding value, and every time someone likes, subscribes, whether that's on podcasts or YouTube or whatever, it really helps us a lot to know that people are watching, and we can get the best content to them.
Yeah. We don't get feedback.
Yeah.
We need feedback, man, we need an avenue for that. Okay, so today, hiring and firing and,
This is the most expensive thing we do.
No doubt. I'm going to read this to you, man, and I think you probably have this already, but it's estimated that 30% of a person's first year, it's the average cost of a bad hire, is estimated to be 30% of a person's first year of earnings. One study even said it could be closer to $240,000 when you account for lost productivity, morale damage, training. Hiring isn't just about filling a seat. It's about protecting the culture and multiplying the mission. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. I tell businesses all the time, the most expensive thing you do is a bad hire.
Yeah.
Because you do not know what it costs you, what it costs you in time, what it costs you in production, what it costs you in culture.
Yeah.
And low standard people lower the standard of everybody.
That's right.
And so then how many man hours does it take to replace that person?
Yeah.
How many interviews? How many man hours does it take HR? How much time does it take to look through all the resumes?
Yeah.
And then you start adding that up. And so a bad hire costs you not just for today, but it costs you really for years to come.
Okay, let me ask you this. From the church world side of things, we're never going to get into personal things, but just generally, have you seen that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think we're way too quick to hire.
Yeah.
I think we like to jump in. We like someone.
There's chemistry.
Yeah.
Right?
I'd like to go hang out with this person. Let's go to the Ranger game with them or whatever that is. And we think they'll be a good fit, but we don't know who they are. And we're not clear with them, their role, their expectations, and where we're going as an organization, whether it's a church or a business. So they don't know who we are. We don't know who they are, but we think, oh, this will be perfect. It's like ninth grade dating.
And when we do get somebody who say, yes, green light, we're going to bring this person on board, I would venture to say that most companies, churches, and corporations suck at onboarding. There's a difference between getting someone on the team and actually onboarding them. And I don't know how much we'll get into that.
So tell me, what do you think is the difference between onboarding from an HR versus onboarding, making them part of the culture and the team? What's the difference to you?
Well, day one, week one, you're going to get your key and depending on what industry you're in, right? You get access. You get access, payroll, you get your accounts set up. And
do I get insurance? Do I get benefits?
Get those questions answered. And I think that's when onboarding initiates. And I think that what that requires, in my experience, what I've seen that works best is having somebody who's in the organization, who's an expert on the culture, to come and bring you in and graft you in to help that assimilation.
Yeah, and I think it needs to be, you need to have that HR person who understands the logistics of making sure all the paperwork is right, so they can get insurance, they can get their first paycheck on time, all those kind of things, background checks, keys, access, logins. But the supervisor also has to know, did you get through all these things? They need to know those steps, and they need to know what does it take to get this person up to speed and running as fast as we can get them full speed.
Man, I think what might be helpful for people listening right now who are either, because if you have a company, you are currently hiring or you will. Everybody's going to have this.
Oh, yeah.
Or you're going to play a role, even if you're on a team. Like, this is valuable because you can help. You can lead up and make your team healthier and help prevent bringing a toxic addition that's going to change the dynamic by knowing some of this stuff.
Yeah, so hiring the wrong person also changes the culture.
Absolutely.
Right? And so the culture of any organization determines their speed and defines their health.
Absolutely.
Every team, every organization, every business has culture. Is it healthy or unhealthy, right? Yeah. But the culture determines how fast an organization can go, how fast they can make decisions, how fast they can get to the next level, and how healthy they are.
I think it's Peter Drucker who says, man, a great vision is important and a developing strategy is crucial. But a culture controls the gas pedal, exactly like you said.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man. Okay, so let me ask you, let's just kind of get into some of this. Let's take it biblical. So Exodus 18, you got Moses, you got Jethro, and Jethro tells Moses, select capable men from all the people, men who fear God, trustworthy men who hate dishonest gain, and appoint them as officials. And Jethro wasn't just saying get warm bodies to fill the spots. He was saying find people with character and competency. And the other C word that we're talking about, culture. Yeah, someone absolutely. Who fits in the culture. And those principles in Exodus 18 are the same principles. That's why, man, I got some books I want to just kind of show folks later, talk about briefly.
Bring them in.
But one of those books that are great on how to lead through this, how to bring people on well, it's the Bible. Absolutely. Go figure, man. There's so much there. What say you?
And not only still that was Old Testament and Moses and Jethro through the process, but Paul also told Timothy in 2 Timothy 2, entrust to reliable men who also are qualified to teach others. Reliable, qualified men who are trustworthy. So who you bring in, especially in a leadership role, is incredibly important to the health, the culture, and really the future of the organization.
Do you think that, let's talk about references. I'm in the hiring process right now for a role at the church. And I'm looking at references a little more intentionally than perhaps I used to. Do you think most people really reach out and talk to references? And do you think that that's an important part of it?
Okay, so over the last couple of years of working with businesses of all different sizes, working whether it's in education or it's in manufacturing company, whether it's a national food industry, whatever it is, most people are horrible at actually calling references. Sure. And I'm going, well, references have been on resumes since we were 18 years old, right? I mean, they've always been on resumes or on your application. And businesses are horrible at calling. Yeah. They assume that they're better at hiring than what they can learn from someone who's worked with this person in the past. So we get lazy. We think we can jump a step. But those references those are always going to be the very best people they want needed. But calling past employers and being able to ask the questions that they can't answer, because they can't answer everything, but making sure you're asking quality questions.
That's really good, man. So that first call, the person they put, that phone call is the first of 2 or 3 calls. Really, depending on the role, depending on what this person's going to do, part-time, full-time, this is a big investment, as we started out, by talking about. So talking to the boss who's going to green light, the best, great.
So you would hire them back tomorrow?
That's a good question. That's a great question. And who else? Who else should I talk to? Another one a question that I love is, why shouldn't I hire them?
It's a great question.
Like, you may be referring them, and granted, I respect, that's great. But if you had to answer the question of why shouldn't I hire them, what would that depend on? Yeah,
that's great. Yeah. One of the questions I love asking in interviews, I think I heard this from Simon Sinek.
He's stud.
Yeah, absolutely. Just brilliant. I think it was him. He said, I like to tell people, I don't like being surprised. So can you tell me something now so that in a month, 3 months, 6 months, I'm not surprised by learning who you are or how you work?
I've never asked that. But that's a great one.
And it's a way to ask, what's your weakness without asking, what's your weakness?
Yeah.
So tell me something I need to know about you.
So what do you think about this, man? When we're talking about hiring specifically, different organizations have the process. It looks different, right? It could be a single phone call. It could be a resume alone. It could be an in-person interview. It could be a panel interview. There's no right way or wrong way per se. But if you don't have the team that you want, and if you've spent a waste of time and money on hiring, I think that's one of the first places we should probably look is just what system do you have in place? Are enough people speaking into it, or is it just you and your judgment?
Yeah, and how foolish to not bring in other wise counsel.
Yeah.
And it can be people from different departments. It can be people who have different understandings of the company as a whole or as the church as a whole. Do you bring in a youth pastor to sit in the hiring of an executive pastor? Maybe.
Yeah, that's good.
Why not? They're going to see something different. But we get so arrogant to think we're going to be good at this, and most people are really bad at hiring. So we need to slow down.
Yeah.
We need to have more conversations. We need to have more people in the conversation, and then asking for some wisdom and asking references, asking more questions. And the higher the level of position, the slower you need to go, more questions you need to ask, and the more time you need to spend with that person in different settings.
Good. Yeah. Throw a Craig Groeschel quote at you. The culture of any organization is shaped by the worst behavior the leader tolerates.
Oh, that's so good.
That's a bit of a page turn for time. Maybe we start rolling into firing.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Craig Groeschel. So,
okay, before we go to firing, let's talk about how do we review people before we fire them.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, what do they earn? Like, what do we owe them?
Yeah. So what has been your process, or what have you seen has been healthy in how you do reviews, how often you do reviews, how you give feedback?
I need to brag on my team right now as part of this. We have an 18-person team, and a chunk of those are in our school of ministry, the residents. But if we're looking at
which means they're rookies.
Yeah. Okay. On fire, high utility, not a ton of experience, but it's great. So our full-time team is 12. We have a dynamic team. We have an effective team. And I love working with these people. Part of it is because the hiring process, and to answer your question, part of it is because we have consistent rhythms of communication.
It's good.
And I'm talking about intentional, you can say, well, what's your one-on-one schedule look like? If you don't know what a one-on-one is, it's you, the supervisor, meeting directly with your direct report and vice versa. So you want to find a baked-in rhythm of doing that. For us, for me, it's every week, at least every other week, because things come up. And
how long do those last?
30 to 45 minutes.
Okay.
Capped at 45 minutes. Capped, man. Like, hey, because here's the deal. Even if you work in proximity, some people work remotely, and they don't get the face-to-face and shoulder-to-shoulder around the office experience. We happen to have that luxury. We do. And yet, we don't have as many intentional check-ins in that kind of setting as you do when you actually sit down across the table. Hey, tell me about Leslie. How's Leslie doing, man? Tell me about the girls. What's going on with school? Not to be disingenuous, but that's part of loving what you do and knowing how to lead and shepherd.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the things that leaders, for me, that I've felt like is incredibly important is reading their body language when you ask certain questions.
Come on.
So when you ask about their wife, when you ask about their kids, when you ask about anything home life, do they start squirming around?
Yeah.
And going, that seems, I need to push it a little bit more right there and ask some more questions. Or do they come up with joy and you can just see the excitement and so you see something healthy that's growing there? When you ask them about a coworker, do they cower down and they start squirming? They don't want to say anything? Or do they go, man, we could not make it without this team member?
That's right.
And not just honoring to be honoring, but what are they not saying as well?
Yeah. I've heard, man, that's so good. And I've heard it said this way, like when people start thinking about scheduling in one-on-ones, like, bro, I don't have time for that.
Absolutely.
It
feels like a lot of work.
Because you have things to do. And it may have been Simon Sinek who said something like I've got things to lead and leadership stuff. Like that is your most important leadership aspect of your role. It's like the team is out there charging the hill. The team needs to be healthy. They need check-ins. They want to know your heart. Yeah. Like I want to know my boss's heart. I want to know his vision. And we need to know. It goes both ways.
Well, and I think if you're a $100 million company and you got 100 employees, 150 employees, the CEO can't meet with the lowest level.
Absolutely.
Person. But you need to at least go 2 levels.
That's good. Yeah.
I think there needs to be
level. Yep.
Yeah. You need to at least be 2 levels that the people.
Yeah. That's good, Nick. So I think this was a couple bosses ago. There's a guy named, well, I don't even say it. I just work with great people, man. I've had that blessing. But someone says, hey, I need you to do this. If you ever have anything that you want to, if there's a tension here, if there's something we want to, pull the thread on, let's be the first place. And like one-on-one, and you always have permission to go skip level to my supervisor if it's something so sensitive or if I've done something so hurtful, you can, like, I'm giving you a green light to go directly to them. And I thought that was pretty brilliant.
To me, that is a healthy, secure leader.
Secure. For sure.
I mean, that's a healthy leader who wants the best, who's secure enough to go, I know I'm going to screw up. If I hurt you so bad that you need to go, let's do that.
Yeah, because that's asking for accountability.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's good, man.
Okay, so when y'all go through this review process, you have your one-on-ones. How have you had to confront people who weren't meeting the standard? Okay,
failure, vulnerable moment, man. I had to fall on my face a few times. So to directly answer your question, like I said the term, we have to pull the thread. We have to pull the thread. We have to eat the frog. And so every day, hey, what's the gnarliest conversation that I'm going to have to eat today? Schedule it, get after it, prepare for it, and get it done. And part of that, especially if it's like, hey, I'm confronting a performance issue, 9 times out of 10, it's really a lack. If there's an issue, it's a misalignment of communication.
Absolutely.
There's a failure of performance, and we need that sometimes. We need to see our limitations and such. But every once in a while, it's a character failure, and those are a little more tricky. That's a little more difficult. It takes part of your heart.
Yeah.
Yeah. And unfortunately, I think for a lot of people, especially in ministry, I'm going to speak from the ministry angle. As you know, man, we have grace. We have grace for performance issues, for hitting your ceiling, for not even like, hey, this is my leadership lid. I don't think I can lead at this next level. Amazing. Let me help you find the right spot. But when you have a character failure, man, it's very hard to find your feet again in leadership within the structure of the staff of a church.
Yeah, and I think, so within church and ministry, and this is a little bit different than business side.
Absolutely, yeah.
Within church and ministry, I think we like to eat our wounded.
Unpack that.
So when we have a pastor, staff member who has had a failure, whatever that looks like, we go after them hard. Mm-hmm. We confront that, or we ignore it, and then we confront it. And then when we confront it, we give them no support.
And you've seen that done.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And so the goal should be healthy restoration.
That's right.
The goal should be, how do we restore them to fellowship with Christ, with their spouse, with the team? And so that's when pastoring actually becomes pastoring, is when you're pastoring your staff through some of their hardest seasons of life.
Man, let's think about this. No, I'm not going to go that angle. I was thinking from a family angle, but let's stay on the business track for a few more.
So on the business side of what do you do in that failure time, right? It has to be, how do we coach up or coach out?
Coach up or coach out.
How do we confront this? It's not acceptable. Mm-hmm. We want to give grace, even in the business world. Yeah. But what does this mean for our team, our culture, and where is the standard that we have to hold? And I think that's true in ministry or business world.
And unfortunately, I think a lot of people don't know that, or it's flexible. And so it's subjective. And then, like you said earlier, it's relationship. Oh, I really like this guy, man. I'm going to hurt his feelings if I talk about this hard thing. And you're right. Like, if he's insecure and if you criticize the wrong way as the boss, instead of critique the action, you criticize the character, that's on us as bosses.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? And as a downline, if I'm getting feedback and if I'm getting that hard coaching, I need to associate the things that they're talking about with the actions that I demonstrated, as opposed to he's attacking who I am at my core. And I feel like maybe generationally there is a bit more of that. The younger you are and the older you get, you learn to disassociate your character with your actions.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay,
so let me tell you a quick story, okay?
Oh, I love it.
So working with this company, they have branches all across the state. They have a guy who's a warehouse manager, had some issues with him. He hasn't been best.
Okay.
The branch manager was looking to get promoted, okay? They're going to bring in a new branch manager. They hire this outside guy, and he's going to come work in the warehouse for a couple weeks to understand that part. No one even knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Before he moves into this position, so he can understand all the different parts. The warehouse manager, who's had some issues, had some questionable things on how he's dealt with people, the first day this guy's on the job, tells him where he can hide from the cameras.
Oh, great.
If you want to be on your phone, if you want to smoke, or if you want to do this, here's where you can go and be off the cameras. So when this guy's about to become the branch manager. He's about to become his boss.
Yeah.
When it goes back up, chain of command, the conversation went, you're working against me.
Yeah.
You're working against us. You're working against even yourself.
That's right.
To help our business be better. And if you're working against us, you can't be for us. And therefore you can't be here.
Yeah. That axiom, and think like an owner, that's for everybody at every level. You know that JFK story where he's touring a NASA facility and he finds the someone who's cleaning, a maintenance man, and he's like, "Hey, tell me what you do." He's like, "Man, Mr. President, I'm sending a man to the moon. I'm helping to send a man to the moon." You know, we need teams of people who are flexible and nimble, and they have an owner's mentality at some level, no matter the role. And I think in the hiring process, you gotta mind for that.
Yeah, and so we have to teach that, train that, coach that, expect that. Yeah. So as part of evaluations, you can't have accountability where there's no clear communication.
Definitely.
Or clear expectations. So
that's first.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So one of the things I work with businesses to do is you need to have a clear role. Everyone needs to have a clear role. Here is your job description.
Yes.
Clear goal. Everyone needs to know how they win.
Yes.
If people don't know how they win, they're just shooting at different targets and they don't know what actually gets the best results. Clear role, clear goal, clear expectation.
Yeah.
Here is the expectation is how you perform within the team.
Okay.
The expectation of you're in this role, this other people are in this roles. This is how the whole team wins. Clear role, goal, expectation, evaluation.
Yeah.
New hire, 14, 30, 60, 90 days, and everyone needs to have an evaluation every 90 days.
Yeah.
Even the CEO of the company needs to be evaluated, right?
Definitely.
The number 5 is clear improvement.
Okay.
After evaluation, you have to get very clear, here's how you can improve.
Yeah.
And then the last one is clear movement. Here's how you move up or move out.
I think for somebody listening to this, man, that is an awesome framework. They're like, Nick, that's a lot of work.
Yeah. But this is how you get great teams.
That's right.
So you're okay. Baseball season's, coming to an end, and you have a guy on your team. Yeah. You're going to sign this guy next year for a 3-year, $300 million contract. He batted 194 this year.
Yeah.
He batted 194. Are you going to sign him to a 3-year, $300 million contract?
No.
What if he had 22 wins as a pitcher and batted 194?
You got me.
Right?
Yeah. Depends on the role.
It depends on the role. And so if you want people to perform at their best, you have to give very clear expectations and evaluation and improvement for them to be at their best. And so you can't expect something. You can't evaluate something based upon something else. You have to, on this role, what is the win for this role?
Bro, I got to back up. Let's go back to hiring just for a minute because that triggered something. So when we're hiring, a lot of companies will use personality assessment tools and resources. Absolutely. Just to name a few: Strengths Finder, Culture Index, Predictive Index, DISC. And DISC is one of those that, man, I know you and I
I'm a huge proponent of DISC.
It's common. It's like universal. And there's Working Genius that I'm kind of into right now. How do you think that plays into getting people in the right roles, unlocking, an opportunity for them to take their existing motivations and just drive?
Okay, so working with businesses, I think this is true for churches. First of all, you need to hire for your core values. Yep. Do they align with your core values? Yeah. If they don't align with your core values, there's no reason to continue the conversation.
Pass.
Do they align with your vision? Do they want to go where you're going?
Yeah.
If they don't want to go where you're going, if they have a different vision for your
dissension, right?
If they have a different vision for your company, then it will lead to dissension. There's division, two visions. And then, yes, absolutely. Number 3 is, do they have the DISC personality profile for this position?
That's right.
One of the companies I work for, we've done hundreds of DISC for their company. They don't hire anybody without doing a DISC assessment.
Okay.
And the reason they did is because they promoted someone who was a great salesperson. I mean, they were a rock star salesperson, longevity with the company, great loyal employee, to purchasing manager. And the purchasing a salesperson is all about big personality, building connections, selling a product, giving paperwork to someone else.
That's right.
Purchasing manager is all about spreadsheets and details and looking at the numbers. And you're not trying to build relationships. Sure. You are locked in a basement looking at spreadsheets, right? Cost them hundreds of thousands of dollars in a short amount of time because you put the wrong person. So DISC profile matters. And then we can look at the skill set.
That's really good. Get the right people on the bus and then get them in the right seats. And that is a constant
absolutely.
Maneuvering and assessment. And let's 9 square, a grid these people annually, and let's continue to evaluate who our rising stars are. And one of my mentors had told me this: you never want to promote someone out of their sweet spot, because some people just, even if it's the track, and we got to be careful with that as we're designing our organizational growth track. Do we have things that are going to cause a situation like you just said as part of our normal trajectory?
Well, and part of your improvement and your movement through the organization is some people don't need to promote to manager.
Sure.
You're a great salesperson. You're great at this. You don't need to be a manager. We need to compensate you as if you were.
That's good.
But we don't need to move you because you don't want to manage people. You want to do things.
Yeah.
And so when you move people into certain roles, can they handle what that looks like? They want to promote for the compensation. Well, let's give them the compensation because they bring that much value, but we don't have to give them the title and the responsibility of it.
And that's where I love, if you have an HR team and some executive leadership, and they're creative in that way and they're flexible in that way, you're on third base already with creating a team that's going to have tenure, that's going to knock down walls with you. It's going to be loyal. It's going to be high trust. Yeah, but I think so many times HR can get into like, this is the thing. You ask me questions, I'm going to give you the answer that I have written here. This is the grid that you're in, and we don't have flexibility and creativity. So.
Okay, can I just tell you a soapbox issue right here?
Yeah.
At some point, HR, IT need to understand they are support staff. They are not the head wagging the tail. Probably just stepped on some toes right there.
I'm going to have I'm going to ask the person I reached out to earlier. He's my director of HR. I'm going to have him watch this. I'm going to ask him to and give feedback because you're
Yes.
right. You're right, man.
Yeah.
And he is so cool that way. Yeah. We got a good one, guys.
All right.
Hey, I'm going to give you a quote.
Okay, go for it.
It's from The Ideal Team Player by Patrick
Oh,
Lencioni.
great.
If someone can't be humble, it's a deal breaker. You can teach almost any skill, but you can't train character. So when we're talking about the hiring process and the firing process, I have fired too slow in the past. I've released too slow. I used to say this in the Marine Corps. Every person, if you're relieving them of their post, they deserve 6 conversations from you.
Wow.
And that is really, it's just, hey, the first 3 are, man, I'm trying to coach you up. But if at any point, and I've changed my thinking on that, my theology of hiring and firing, because it's like, and I'll read right from 1 Peter 5:5, God opposes the proud but gives grace to the humble. If there is a proud person or a character deficiency that has come to the surface and it's causing tension, I'm going to attack that, man. I don't know what else to say about that. Like, if there is a willingness to change and grow and develop, let's coach up. But if there is a clear indication, verbal or through action, that this person isn't going to change, because the problem's not a problem necessarily, but a pattern is a problem.
Yeah.
And if they've shown a pattern, let's go. It's time to release you. As my pastor used to say, our founding pastor, Steve Stroop, release them to their destiny.
That's right. Bless them and release them.
Bless them and release them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I just throw out something? Just learn this.
You can do anything you want, man.
Okay. This has nothing to do with this. Okay. So just learn something. And we'll wrap this up. Did you know humility and being humble is not a Greek or Latin word?
Okay. Talk about that.
Most scholars believe that in Philippians 2, it says that Jesus humbled himself, right? That somewhere before Paul wrote Ephesians, somewhere between Ephesians, when he wrote 1st and 2nd Corinthians and Ephesians,
Yeah.
Paul coined the phrase humility.
Huh.
And it actually became first known in the Christian church. It did not exist in Greek or Latin.
Do you know every single thing about Paul there is to know?
No, but that's my goal.
That's awesome, man.
And so it is a spiritual word.
Yeah.
And so
Okay.
when Jesus says in the Beatitudes, blessed are those who are low in spirit, we translate that humble. Jesus didn't say low and humble. The word didn't exist yet.
He said low in spirit,
He said low in spirit.
or words that mean that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Huh. How about that? Okay, chew on that, listeners.
All right.
Check it
Just
out.
want to throw that nugget out at you. All right. So when you've had to fire, what did that look like? What was the biggest lesson
Yeah.
you learned from those conversations?
That I'm dishonoring the team that I'm leading by holding on too long to someone who, and you know in your gut, like Groeschel says, know the numbers, trust your gut. Sometimes when it comes to people, we really do need to trust our gut. And so I've held on too long, and I've done that a couple of times because, depending on how you're wired, man, I see it as almost a failure on my part at some level if I can't coach them up. But the reality is, and I had to get coached on this myself, that there are times when it's not about you, it's about them and what they want, or maybe God's calling them into something else. Yeah. And you celebrate that. I think every chance we get when we release someone, even if it's under questionable circumstances, that's not everybody's business, man.
No, absolutely not.
We're going to honor them as best we can in what way is appropriate as they transition out. And especially if it's someone who, and it drives me crazy when supervisors hang on too tight. I got my claws in this person. Yeah, or you say you're going to be transitioning and then you get blackballed and you don't get any grace or opportunities.
Which is really the pride of the leader.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, Paul and Barnabas split over John Mark.
That's right.
Right? Later, Paul writes, John Mark has become useful to me.
Yeah.
But
he needed that time.
He needed that time to mature, to go do something else. And we have to be okay allowing people to go do something else because they're not useful right now.
That's right. So good. Wow. And then, when we pastor somebody, and this is any role. So if you're listening to this or watching this, this is any role. CEO, FO, whatever. Mom at home, you can't fire your kid. So you're in a unique position. But as it relates to employment, man, when you let someone go, there's a responsibility. There's a stewardship with that.
Absolutely.
And I, again, have not always done the right thing on this because the pace of work and the tunnel vision that we get, but they need to be pastored into the next thing. And whether they're a member of my church or not, we just owe that to the person. What does that look like? I don't know. Where have you seen that done well?
Yeah, and this is where business world and church world needs to be a little bit different, right? And I think there's still some principles that can overlap. But in church world, I think if you let someone go 3 weeks later, you need to go have coffee with them.
It's good.
2 months later,
you
need to go, hey, how are things going? Just praying for you, praying for your family. What can we do to support you right now? You don't need to just kick them out and be done with them. They're still part of the body of Christ.
And I agree. It does look. Tell me about, talk about the business world, what that might appropriately look like.
I think it still needs to be kind. I think it needs to be clear. I think it needs to be very direct.
Right.
There does not need to be any ambiguity of why you're leaving today.
Yeah.
Right. I think you can follow up 2 weeks, a month later and say, hey, I know things did not depart like you probably wanted or we wanted.
Yeah.
But we are grateful for your time here.
Yeah.
And hope
so
that
good.
you have great things in store for the future.
And budget for this. Like when you send someone off, like you're going to have attrition.
Absolutely.
You need to take care of them.
Yes.
They have a family. If they've been good to the company, and depending on their tenure and depending on, role, of course, those things are relevant. But one of the things I love about where I am and the people that are above me is it's a blessing when they send someone off. Again, church world, I get it, but it's a blessing. But that can overlap and apply. So if you've got a business and you've got employees, man, just know this, when that door is closed, they've got decisions to make. They've got families to feed, and they're not your problem, but there is a responsibility of leadership.
Absolutely.
To honor the person and to love people.
Yeah. Okay. Real quick, you said you had some books.
Let's dig them out.
A couple books.
Okay. Caveat. These are just a couple. When we're talking about building healthy teams, there are a few people that I'm going to grab this one first. A few people that everybody needs to read, and it's Patrick Lencioni. So this one is The Advantage.
Oh.
That's Fire from Patrick Lencioni. You've got The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team, Dynamite. And when you read Patrick, I say Patrick like he's my friend.
Yeah.
Because he's kind
Pat,
of
how are you, bud?
Hey, Patty.
Yeah.
He writes in story form, and then he gets into the principles of it. There's one by Mac Lake. It's a series. It's a discipleship leader series. This is one of the 5. This is leading an organization. And the reason I only brought that one, well, it's because books are heavy, but also it's leading yourself, leading others progressively, these books, different books, leading leaders, leading departments, and leading organizations. It's fantastic. We use this as some core content for School of Ministry.
Okay, good.
Love it.
Developing the character and competency to lead a church, nonprofit, or business. So it applies to everybody.
Absolutely. Character and competency.
Yes.
And then I'm not stepping on Mac, but I would add that third one, and that's culture.
Absolutely.
Character, competency, and culture. First 90 days, any role change, that's gonna be so much help. And then an oldie but a goodie is Good to Great by Jim Collins. So much in there for supervisors, for team leaders, no matter the organization, to take and apply and transform your team.
Yeah, and one more book, I don't even remember who it's by. The A Method of Hiring is a great book.
A Method of Hiring. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Absolutely. It's a great book on hiring as well. Hey, if you are looking to make your next hire, looking to promote, maybe even looking to do some assessments with your team, you want to find out what that looks like, we would love to be able to connect with you and your business and just discuss taking those next steps. You can find more information at myleadershipcoach.org for myself, Nick Edwards, and
jpleadership.org.
jpleadership.org. Hey, thank you for joining us today. Continue to take your next step and continue to lead forward.